Je dan do je jano la Jangchub dana jasum Nage che che je be tonam je rola ben je sang je drambresh sang je je dan do je jano la Jangchub dana jasum Dāgāi chānsō je bē sānam je rōlā bēnchā sāng je rāpar shō sāng je shōdāng sō je chānāng lā yāng je bārdā dāna jāsam je dāgāi chī shē je bē sānam je rōlā bēnchā sāng je rāpar shō. Okay. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Morning.
Geshe.
Good morning.
Yeah. I think my internet is still not very happy. Do you guys see everyone?
Yeah, it's good. We can see you, Geshe, we can hear you.
Yeah. I couldn't see many people like that, just names that. My internet is not very happy. Today maybe my internet got some COVID. Also, some people also become again to be a statue. But slowly coming. Okay, now getting back. Now Jennifer's not moving, Bob's moving, Daniel not moving, Asa not moving. Everyone's just like become statue again.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys a little bit. I can hear you.
When that happens to me, I go in again. Go out and come in again.
Okay, I'm going back, come back again, okay? Yeah, sometimes it's work. Good morning again, everyone. Good afternoon. Laura. Oh, good. Now you guys are not statue anymore. I can see you guys moving. Have some smelling. Everyone have some coffee, tea? Oh, Bob's coffee is finished. Good. Yeah. So everyone have some tea, coffee, then some breakfast. Who has breakfast already?
Not yet.
Really, you guys are very early person. Sometimes people, they not sleep nighttime. They spend like, they are like, I say, not sleep like very late in the morning. Then they not get up in the morning. They say, today, Saturday, Sunday, I'm sleeping time. This is usually, like you guys very effort to about practice Dharma. Today is usually sleeping day or sleeping time to rejoice your day, but everyone try to come back early morning to study or meditation. That'd be good. Anyone hear me? Again, I can see you guys become statue. I can see Tamchu's moving.
Yeah, I can hear you very well and see you very well.
Okay. Okay, since if you guys hear me, that's good. You guys, some people become statue. That's a good imprint to statue, not moving. Okay, now we're going to first we do the meditation, okay? As usual, we do meditation for the karma body. It's we are very lucky, we're able to wake up, we're able to do things, we're able to, walking around. And then we're very lucky. Therefore, everyone have good motivation. The first to just breathing meditation a couple times, because breathing meditation is like the technique to bring our mind as more calm and with us. Therefore, like when you bring meditation, just follow your breath, bring in, out, just try to focus 100%. Then as usual, you can do any statue, usually do what you do. Just focus it. That this time is not, we are not doing, analytical meditation. We do concentration. Therefore, we have to like 10, 15 minutes, okay? First, I do the bill. That time first you start with the breathing meditation. Then I build the second time. Then you start with the real karma body meditation to focus. Any kind of statue, usually you do that. Just first maybe more focus you the face, Buddha's face, any kind. You don't have to look for all of just very clear and very tight. If you lose, make sure you find the loose, you come back again, okay? Okay. How's it? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
It was very peaceful and good.
Good. 당주 고대. 전서 인터넷이나 my 인터넷이나 something very slowly today. 담중아 고대.
고도. 저 고도.
알래요. 다 고대. 예.
저랑 인터넷 전시한 거거든.
다 라.
저랑 인터넷 전시하나?
이게 다 코드 좀 통통.
현상 아무도.
저도 저 담주 게 주장입니다.
왜?
정보차이 become statue.
정보차이
해다.
아,
개요마다 대리 파싱에 된 사람이야. I think my internet is not very strong enough. Today is something wrong. I look like all of you become statue again. It's good for everyone.
Geshe, you may need to turn your computer off completely and then restart your computer, not just go out of Zoom. I know that's.
Oh, really?
I know it's kind of a pain, but if you restart your entire computer, that usually helps.
Okay.
But that's
I think good.
You.
If you guys hear me, it's good. Yeah, I will do later. Yeah.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, that's good. Then good. If you become statue, it's good.
They will hear you continuously the whole time.
Okay. Yeah. That didn't go. 아니 다 시당 남중도 다 대치해야 돼. 아니 시당 다 두고 대치치다. 안내가게 대치시다. 말아보니 인구도 제고 서와. 단 다두고 대치해야 돼. 다조 타와다 탭전 제배 공부 터봐. 뇨모 빠와. 어떤 데지랑 안 정도 되시게 요래. 아니 내까지 대치해야 돼. 간지 리 대시 제봐. 아니 샘 아니 지가 다 그냥 보시고 나면도 아니 샘랑 남라단 지타다 강이면 안다 아니 대시지 봐서 정도는 지금 여러와.
So when we talk about happiness or comfort, talking about like the temporal happiness and ultimate or long-lasting or ultimate happiness. And so the ultimate happiness, is the happiness where you gain, through abandoning the delusions, attachment, anger, ignorance, and so forth. And the temporal happiness, is just having a healthy body. If you're not sick, not injured, then your body is comfortable. So that's a temporary comfort. And your mind, if your mind is peaceful, not very stressed or filled with anxiety or fear, and stress and so forth, then your mind is peaceful also. It's like a mental happiness. So that's also temporary happiness.
제가 다 가서 나 첼라 다 가서 다 내가기 아니 지 대화도 동아 되기 아니 대화도 매와 아니 동아대야 이건도 전에 다 강에 되고 여러 다 가서 조지다 내가 가서 라비아다 semje tamchog cheda sanje kompa topse lap yore de yemba yana so ngazo tanda ngazo nire tsoba nyada de ta neka ge dedu te tamado chindo de do.
So what we are facing now, is the temporary happiness, experiencing temporary happiness, and facing with all these other problems. So for ourselves, we're going through all these problems. Even though we try to think about others, we say, I'm going to do this and that for the benefit of others, to gain enlightenment for the benefit of others and so forth. But we still have to face all these temporal problems and problems that we ourselves have to deal with.
다 나도 nyere 소속 초와단 제베게 냠내 제당데 또 쪼간도 지금 너가 총하다 초시바다 매비 generation 다 땡간도 잠좀 고알랜다데 맞죠 아니 지금 남백의 뇌시 초시 주제를 걸어야 개개 체면이면서는 삼당하는 거 같다 땡간도 노르대샤
And so the day-to-day problem that we're facing, I think, is because of not having less desire and and satisfaction, with one what one has. So because of that, so we should be more satisfied with what we have and have less desire for more things. But doesn't mean that you should not do anything. So when you say no desire, doesn't mean you should not do anything and just sit there and do nothing.
제장아도 아니 너바 총아 촉시바스 너바 총아세 돼 가지고 나도 남주 능음 체자네야 아니 소소라야 지 니바 메바 야는 야는 소소라 메바 짜자 지 되더니지 대마라왜 아니 둥하냐 되게로
So when it says less desire, means not seeking more than what we really need. So always, we always want to have more. We're not satisfied. We're not content, with what we have. We're not happy with this, and then we want to have another one, and so always more and more, or different, from what we have. Because of that, and we're going through all these problems.
삼로 야보지 땅다 간주 지금 톱 고사 임바이나래 담년라 임바이나래 가리지면 간지 소소라 마와와 야나나면 소소라 매바시 아 테네지야 아니 소소가 아니 매와데 따다 마용와지 대용화게 체드당은 좀 sem랑 감다나다와 아니 내차 시당 공도 두무 안에도 야 파용 작도와
So even if we think about on our day-to-day life, like just the status, the status or the position and name and fame, that we are seeking, we want to have a higher position. We want to have better name and fame, and because of that, always running after something, right? Because of that, then we get attachment, and then if there is somebody who is obstructing us, from gaining those things, then we get angry towards them and all this. So this is because of wanting more and more, things for ourselves, like higher position, higher status, or better name and fame and so forth.
제가 나라서 소소라 강 요바테가 아니 너바 마강와치 야만나 강 소소라 강 요바데 수수 뭐 말씀하지 디강에 저기로
And so of course it's because of not being content with what we have, or maybe not even realizing how much we already have. Sometimes we have, but then we think we don't have enough. We don't have enough. So if we think how much we already have, then maybe we'll be happy, and say, oh yeah, I have enough. I don't have to worry, I don't have to get more like that. So always because of not knowing or realizing how much we already have.
이 차전에 다 미지기야 미상질에 년바씩 거려와이나 년바 티나라에 답변에 고무 잘려요 맞지. 다 좋아지면이가 따다 말아와 용 그래. 변나. 지금은 와서 고무 잘로도 삼나. 삼나야 가서 찍으리. 지금은 고무 잠시 문도 삼네야. 고셈 말아와지네 가지 막아와시고 나만. 아니 때 삼라 양조 고도 삼베게 소화를 그래.
So like for example, if somebody sent you a present, right? Let's say a card, a birthday card, with $100 inside it. So that can be two ways of looking. One person can think, oh, wow, so much money. They can be very happy. And the other person will say, oh, just $100, and not very happy. So just from the way you look at it, even though it's the same amount of money, same kind of present, but because from the way we look at it, we can be happy or unhappy.
Then do I? 지금 너와 참고래. 지금 너와 강하지. 아, 너와 강하지. 내가 그 가외 간지 초와 대화대 고용 거를. 그 가외 초와. 지금 너와 강하여 버려. 너와 강하여 와인자 아니 되게 고 동안 하 보용 거. 샘 말아와 용 거로.
So that's true, right? One person is content, happy, then therefore he feels happy, right? The other person is not content with that. He's not satisfied with just $100. And so, oh, just $100? And then, he wants to have, he seeks more, so he's not happy. So that's all, so being content and not being content, big difference like that.
Oh, that is somebody that the younger that red doom the some of that. Namju Naran so la can you at the Suzu Yapu can't take Suzu Yovati, Yova Mundu Jetoma, Mundu Jetoyo Mari. They might want that Suzu never turned the niche and they Marawe Kanganya there.
And so, like I said, one thing is we are not able to recognize or identify how much we already have, and not knowing that, oh, I have this much, and not thinking that way, or not realizing that, and then always wanting to have more and more. And because of that, then we face all these problems.
But the pay Mizimbiga and the Kaji, and the social account you at the Retansiade. Namju teaching Zingmudo, social account you what the return Savani Zingmudo, and the social mevage turned the near any take it in their charge, shed down Kundu Yamajo, and the Sembatibo Mevacha, and it and it that Damra Yungua.
And so it's really important, to understand the value of the things that you have and to, appreciate with that. And we don't do that when we don't appreciate with what we have. And instead we seek for more things that we don't have, and in the process, in the process of seeking all these things, then we get attachment, we get angry, all these things. So all the problem comes because of not being content with what we have and always seeking more and more.
다들 가서 빼시는 곰들이 자기네 대련도면도 다 단대 가랑 간도 다 마찬도 뉴잉랜드 등에 솔라야 아니 공갈라 딱 가면 뭐 잡고 요린 잡아 잡고 요르다 먼저 생각하게 요 말에 그래서나 아니 시당 쇼치는 가중에 만이다 트래디션에 요 와인다 간이 강에 요 말에 다 계속 텍스슬라야 아니 강 잡아 다 나라야 춤에 봐서 로메 봐서 다 문이 무슨 강에 텐데도 와.
And so, like we will, meditate, with this, contemplating on this situation. And so let's say, like in New England, we are accustomed, or we are used to having lots of snow, right? So, one way is that because we are used to that, and other ones, we are, prepared, for that. And so, if we have, many feet of snow, it doesn't bother us. But like in Texas, recently, like you have seen in the news that they have a little bit of snow, and that caused a lot of problem for them. And they lost electricity, they lost water, and all these things. So they're having a lot of problems.
Yeah, tanga yena nganzu la ya 단지게 아니 강에 매와대 소설 로고 강에 매와 아니 사도고 강에 매와 아니 지금 람고 파든 로야가 강에 매와대 근데 강에 매와는 것도 적으면 돼 지금 적어대 다시 적어야 말돼.
And so like even though we have this situation, right, we don't feel that problem, we don't have that problem. Like even though we have a very cold winter and lots of snow, and we don't have problem of losing electricity or losing heat and problem of not being able to drive on the road. And also everything is cleared and we're able to drive and have a heat and have water and so forth. So do you appreciate that, that facility, that good, favorable condition that we have? Do you realize that and do you appreciate that?
No, right. In that, 나도 가는데 예 그소 대 다른 이 사람들 대량간주 소와도 춘래게 말 단다 지금 드문데 이 드문들 앞대 그러와.
We don't normally appreciate, we take it for granted, right? And instead, we make even make more complaints, saying that, oh, this is not right, that's not right, and so forth, right?
Oh, that tepe musim that so 강 여바들 리턴스야 때 무슨 것이 보셔도. 디가 간도 대화 슈트게 요다. 소소소 강 여바데 문제 제도 봐. 텔라다 당치나 텔라 안에 촉시 있어야 돼.
So that's what I mean, appreciating what we have, right? and understanding the value of the things that we have and being content. So that's what we talk about, being content with.
And 잠동가도 ane 초시 책으로 써서 말이야 개개 지하 요말에 아니 지 잘라다 보자 요말에 아니 지 소소 지 고야 돼 아니 수야 요말대로 들리 말해서 소소 강 요한테 스타시고래 세대 내가 데려와.
So when we say be content, doesn't mean that, don't take care of your things or, and don't be happy with that. That doesn't mean that, so you have to take care of the things you have. And so what it means is, to appreciate what you have and be happy with that. So if we just follow our desire, then we can never fulfill it.
만두 잘라도 드리사와 지기니와나 양 dunta jimane sawa dige ani the exa yesare yang pe pa yu shembaji go yang de pa yu yang shembaji go.
And so like if we buy a new stuff, the next week our interest to that stuff it will be gone, and then we'll have to buy another new stuff, and then after another week that interest for that thing will be gone again, and then we have to buy another one like that. So keep on buying and buying because our desire has no end. Buddha.
Yeah, today. Okay, today my internet is very, very tired. Even I couldn't hear if Tom should finish or not. Okay, maybe I just restart my computer again. You guys heard that, okay? Otherwise, I couldn't hear if Tom should finish or not.
Okay.
You guys, okay, you guys' meditation is true or not, okay? 만두 가래서나 아니 만두 강의 영어데 소소를 매와지 돈든 예지 대마라베 강의래도 소소 요와 되게 마다메 강의래샤스. 데 저노도 곰 잡쇼스.
So now you do the analytical meditation on this situation, okay? So what is our problem? Is our problem because of not finding what we want, or because of not appreciating with what we have?
Or not
recognizing what we have and not appreciating that.
Okay, do the meditation, okay? I'm going to clean my computer.
And regarding that as being very important.
Okay, I'm back. Well, looks you guys are moving. Good. Are you moving? Are you statue again? Look, good. Good, everyone's moving. That's good. Yeah, I just completely shut down then. What's that, research? How you call it?
Restart or reboot.
I think restart, yeah, I did restart. Now they come back. Now I can see you guys. Otherwise, I couldn't also hear if Tom should finish or not. Okay, good to survive. We're free from the solving of the stock the my internet. Well, 대체자니 도우치는 섬로당 그래. 섬 근데 연발이 섬로 평가 말해. 수수 섬로당에 샘라 란트베잖아. 아니 땐데 딩아도 섬로 평독체도 그래 봐.
And so yeah, so we should think like that, not just thinking, oh, it must be like that, it must be like that, or it may be like that. Not just thinking it may be like that, but really thinking it yourself.
제가 bên 단다 저도 ngalkangi 요 소외kangi 요 텐데 language 예마이나 간솔아야 예사 카가 칼라 사사 카가 아니 간지 탑상 카가 카가 메르라야 간지 저 차상 카가가도 와서 얘는 간주 대칭 남주고 지금 로당 임베서로 소소대 여와 tel라야 간지 지금 가와곰바 야만은 tel라 리상친 찍고 말했지 제가 대 녹도 침부시 그래.
And so, we don't recognize, the things that we have, we don't appreciate and, recognize the things that we have. So some people have very difficulty, with their living situations, like a house and so forth, so and just living in a hut and so forth. But here, most of us, we have a proper house, with a separate living room, separate kitchen, separate dining room and bedroom and all these things, but we don't appreciate that. And we still feel unsatisfied or unhappy, not happy, and because we don't appreciate, with what we have.
You like
that or no? Is that true?
야만나 소소라 아니지 니바 메바지 콜라야 아니 텔라 우수자다 야만나 소소라 톱다 명예절 우수자다 야만나 소소라 직가로 마왕아질 탑시제다 소소 강 여와 대치니 텔라야 아니지 라탄시야 돼 빼뉴뉴래자 제가 대 농축 쉬우지래 소소라 강 여와들 라탄시다 셈라에 대와 타를 랩사래.
And so it's because of always seeking more things. And usually, more things that we are not able to, have for ourselves. It's not possible for in our situation, to have that thing, or something that we don't deserve, and we want to have that thing, something that we always, want to have more and more. So because of those things, wanting more in that way, we have all these problems. But if, on the other hand, if we appreciate what we have, so, oh, I'm so lucky, I have this, and so much better than so many people in the world. And like that, if you think like that, immediately your mind will be happy. So yeah, reflect on that. Check that by meditating or reflecting on that.
Okay. 다니바데 카레 나도 가디는 메시드 미 셴베가 미당 셈라 안에 때네 소와체데 대 농축 첨보시오레스
미당 셈라
아따네 아니 나도 소와체데 그랬어 미 셴베가 간디진 통거래 미간 셴베 간에 탱거래 대자자 섬네 수수 소와체데 다때 빼 농축 첨보래.
And the other thing is that we live, by looking at other people's eye and other people's mind, always, So what I mean by that is, always thinking that how will others look at me? If I do in this way, or if I live in this way, if I think in this way, how will others look at me? Or what will others think about me? Like always thinking about their mind and their eyes. How they will look at me and what will they think about me, like that. Because we live our life just thinking like that. And so we're not living on our own way, We are living and according to others' way, how others will think and how others will look, like that.
제가 미셴베게 아니 난 통당 아니 dugan thongare samne ane mandeva kaje mande shende ya kije majina kije yendodochi gemo shoya mena gemo shoya yendodochi ane mi yarabchi mena yarab yendodochi ga rodegere kadina.
So because we think that others will not look in a good way, and because of that, even if you don't have a wish to do something, then you do that. Even if you don't wish to laugh, you laugh. You say, oh, if I don't laugh, then they will be unhappy with me. So even if you don't want to respect the person, to show that to look good in their eyes, you show respect. And also always we do the things that we don't want to, because of thinking how they will look at me if I don't do this or if I do this and so forth.
제전 삼점 되게 가도 고녀주거다 배나 미니 소란 코란이 남주 따와 맡아마지 와이나 다 미셴바진 되려야 다 미셴바된 코란이자라 지 내가 전부 전에 딘돌려야 소소니 따와 맡는 튼동도치 바즈 기제미나 기제 연동도치 찍질라 마가나 간도도치 딘돌라 개모샤가지 좀 쇼게다 때도 가도 소소고 소와다 라운은 저기 아니 깨요 말이지 소소 소샤죠 와.
And so, like for example, like there are two people, a couple or just friends, they don't get along with each other, right? But in the face of others, then they pretend to be very loving to each other and caring about each other, thinking about each other, harmonious with each other, like that, So it's like always, it's like acting in front of them, then and living in a way how people will look at you, not in a way how you want to live. How you and how you feel happy living in living, but how others would look at way.
근데 제게도 가서 차 소소 삼았다는 제게도 제게도 미션바데 가 누가 통으로 그래서 말다. 야무는 미션바데 내 제당도 야고문도 삼로 그래 삼배지. 되게야 미 파초벌라코 니바사를 삼고 말다. 소소기 다 미드 마차로 그래 삼비대 용 거. 강강 가서 집발에 차선을 돼요.
So, of course, there's a good way, to think about that situation. Like, somebody will say, somebody will look in a different way, so I should not do that. It can influence them to be bad, so I should not do that. And that's good, right? And that's good. Most of the time, we don't have that thought. We don't think, oh, this is going to harm them. We don't think that way. If I act in this way, this will harm them. Like show bad example to my children or to other people, so that way I'm not going to do it. We don't think like that. Most of the time we think, oh, I'm going to look bad. It's going to be bad for me, so I should not do that. We're always mostly thinking like that.
Okay. 대체 chance 소소 가디징의 직다 소소가 예린이다 좋아라 가능도 맹군도 좋아도 되네 깨게도 하면 되고 깨고나 따때 노트레스 대가도 주지가 완전 로요리 지대 주지가 완전 만로 사이데 소소가 예린이다 좋아단 소원 락강에 요한다 대마제라고 왔어.
And so you should analyze yourself and how you are living. Are you living in a way to make others happy, or like how they will look by worrying about how they will look and how they will think, like that, or are you living in a way that makes you more happy? You should analyze that, how you are living on a day-to-day life.
Okay, you want a little bit analytic meditation? Do 1 or 2 minutes analytic meditation, okay? 근데 이제 소수 셈라 오늘 되는 레도 셈 레나가도 기와타도 그래시 근데 임바레 알레 티인사티 라운도 셈나가도 기와타도 말 소수 셈 나등 오늘 렌도와 강근에 되는 로운도 되나 소수 셈라 아니 녜셰냐나 기와타도 기와타나 대와 소수냐.
So if you just think, oh yeah, must be like that, then that doesn't help you, But if you really think it and then you feel, yeah, it's really true, it's like that, then there is a chance, of converting yourself and finding happiness.
Okay. 까마치 곰작이다. 까마치 니시.
1 minute, we can think. Think about your own situation, how you are living. Are you living, because you are living that way, or because you think that you live that way because how people will think and how people will look at you.
Okay. 와야 다 곰리라나 양 저도 갈까 오 두치 상당쇼 대상물이 당 인지미지 상물 당쇼데
Yeah, if it's too long, you might get tired. So make it short. But anyway, it's important to think, like I said, think in that way. That's very important.
소소 강 요아텔라 라타티고 그래서 강 요아텔라.
Should appreciate with what we have.
아니 소소라 마오와 야문의 치텔라야 간지 함숨자요 말했어. 이게 갈 소소 쓰면 내가 그러와.
Yeah, and should not, have too much desire or be greedy, for something that we cannot get or we don't deserve.
배차셔나 소소라 진데 강해진 태대요 와이나. 근데 시당의 소외 강이 매와지 인바이나 지 소소 간지 수보라 진 나산으로 같은 형대요나. 다 될어야 초식간이 최고래 삼루시 나와 있나.
And then how do we, be content, with our situation? Like say, you are sick, and you're sick, and how can you be happy with that? You might think, like, how can I be happy when I'm sick, right?
다들 삼단다 지로 와셔다 대가라 오 당한 나기도 돼 있네. 룸바델라 멤버 맨칸 다수 가딘 조조조 가디 폰 땅조조 아니 간지 투제 차상 누구삼나 아니 샘라 나칭 지금 모두 삼에 강에들 라로 코노코노 파메도 텔라 조시 제토와 있나.
So when we are sick, I say I'm sick, but there are so many doctors and there are many hospitals, and I can just make one call and I can receive help, from. So if you think like that, then it's so you don't worry so much, about your being sick, and immediately, you feel much happier.
도우치는 때서 좋잖아. 아니 소소삼라 나 오늘 나 밀라키데레도 와서 소발레 텔레나 나 지금 문이 지금 문도 삼는 셈라 남라데 그런 거 팔라도 그래.
And so instead of thinking that I'm sick or this is not good, that's not good, I'm at the end of the world now. Like if you think like that, then of course there'll be almost always a bigger and bigger problem. But if you think about all these positive things, the good facilities and good conditions that you have, then you will be happy immediately.
배차샤는 간도 별에 다 왠진 좋냐고 간도 나 요사를 lumban달라야 미상 파싱 업제 투자래 멤버 지어요 말이 저러서 윈디케이지도 멤버 누야라도 뭐 멤버 전에 맨날 사야 셴바 로그쇼나 락바트 담네.
So like in my village, there are maybe about 500 families, right, in my village, but there's no one doctor, no one hospital in that village. Like Wendy has been to Tibet and to my village, and she had an accident. She broke her wrist or hand, and she had to be taken to different city, different town for treatment.
제가 다 근데 대대 간도인데 때지는 폰타 쇼쇼 맨가 두쇼쇼다 제가 근데 요와데 소소 라타츠바이나 텔레 초셰제에서 뭐 저랑 강가 매와 채워서 쉬고 말다. So
like here we have very good facilities, right? You have doctors and clinics and hospitals, so many around. You just have to make one call and you'll get you receive the help. And so you should appreciate that. You should value that and appreciate that. That's what I what would mean by being content. Doesn't mean that if you are content, that means that you have to get rid of all the things that you have.
대대치 다니드네 단단 가서 마치에다 수번 단어도 주소 나기도 해. 때때 나되게 줘라다.
And then secondly, most of you here all are very healthy, right? Maybe you have some pain here and there, or some small diseases here and there, but generally you're all healthy, right?
이나 간주 텔라 오 수부 대원도 섬 텔라 가와고마데 텔라 리턴 시그면도 와데 테이코 남지 말 테지 마데와 존나 텔라야 컴플레인시요 모두 치거와.
So, but when we compare, with all these diseases and the health that we have, our health may be better, but we don't appreciate that. We don't, value that, right? And and instead of that, appreciating with what we have, the comfort that we have, good health that we have, we complain about small, pain here and there.
저도 생각에 캐나다 변화 단다다 나다로 음식에 나다 첨보들의 명예들이나 I'm very lucky, I'm very healthy. 저도 생각도 바지쇼 생각 말다.
So if you are happy, I mean, if you are healthy, right, don't have a severe disease, and you're healthy, then do you appreciate that? I'm very healthy, I'm very good, I'm happy, I'm healthy and strong. Do you appreciate that? You don't appreciate that. You just think that's a normal. Oh, that's, yeah, I'm not sick, it's normal. But if I'm sick, then that's terrible. So we always think like that. So we don't really appreciate the good health that we have.
제가 소소로 강요 받대 대니래니래 소소로 가와 곰다 아니 샘그 둥아가 라로 제가 샘라 대치 곰다 도스르다 아니 샘그 둥아파 매워쳐다 도스르다.
So the suffering and happiness is again like that, it's a state of mind, right? If you think about suffering, then you are suffering. If you think about happiness, you're happy. Yeah, so instead of thinking about small the diseases or sufferings that you have, if you appreciate and value the good health that you have, then you will be much happier.
근데 전도 장로는 추일래네 데리카라 가레사 삼에 담같이 해야 돼. 저 통과력을 다 데리니 가레뇨서 담같이 해야 돼.
So like when you open your fridge, do you have options to say, oh, what should I have it today? Should I have this? Should I have that? Do you have many options like that? Or then when you go to the supermarket, do you have options and saying that, oh, what should I buy? Should I buy this or should I buy that? Do you have many options like that?
Oh, you have no choice.
Or you have no options at all. Many options, right? Do you appreciate that?
No, right? We say this is like normal.
So we should appreciate that.
Okay, this is very important. 제가 완전 춘신도 비가 곰자 뽕반이 곰고를 조바체모 곰고를 샤자체모 곰고를 뽕이 틀려야 타리 못 삼는 가지 소소 춘주도 라도도 대 고도 고거다네 대 말레면 간도 레 담보와라 강 요바들 축셰체 가보 곰나 소소 샘나 대바 대지다가 연구요.
So yeah, those are the small things in our day-to-day life that we live with, and we disregard that, and then we think about when we say practicing dharma or meditating, then we always think about very high topics like emptiness, bodhicitta, mahamudra, and so forth, great completions, and so forth. But those are needed, of course, in the advanced level. But in the basic level, we have to understand this, how to be content with what we have. And for that, what I mean is like to appreciate what we have.
양아치나도 빼신 바트. 지나도 니 제오에 상고돼. 보모에는 니 제오. 보에나가 가르 드보에 챙기돼.
Another example I want to give you is: do you think yourself as being as being handsome or beautiful?
But 챙 말이야. Travel, I'm very ugly. Or I'm not very beautiful. 아주 샘라 가지요래. 대 말은 아주 소소 강요가 주는 학고에 말이 신기요 말이.
So most of us, we don't think that, right? We always say, oh, she's more beautiful, or he's more handsome, like that. Oh, I have this, pimples on here on my face, or that wrinkle on my face, or gray hair on my head, and like that. Always think about the bad things only. We don't really appreciate the good look, that we have.
간돌베나 옹봉아 탕도 암준이 고도 민이가 통도 나고 주마 초고도 젤레가 소 가로 좋아냥도 리실 좋아도 나도 옹복 끝나 된 말이. 대가도 약보지 마치 속여 말이. 대명의 가세지요.
So like we have a complete senses, right? We have an eye, we can see with, we can have an ear, we can hear with, we have a nose, we can smell with, we have a tongue, we can taste with, we have a body that can feel with. So we have a complete senses, right? So do we appreciate that? We don't, But there are so many people who don't have all these complete senses, who don't have all the senses completed. And so compared to that, if we look at ourselves, with all these complete senses, do we appreciate that? We don't think, we just think that's normal. It's not a normal thing, It's not an ordinary normal thing, There's so many billions of people who don't have that.
고도도 냠도도 간도 미도 봐 감내야 저도 지니 고도 냠도나 샘랑 남라다 직자다한테 가서지요. 아니 돈이 지는 돈에 틀려내 소소 미도 파시나 아니 신의 소소를 미여와도 대화인 바 신이 속으래 대만 속 말이.
So like if you go into a blind people community, right? A community where all the blind people live, and then so you want to experience their feelings. So you put a blindfold or something to cover your ear, cover your eyes completely, so you don't see anything. Right? So so if you're left like that with your eyes covered for an hour or two, how much struggle you will have. You can't do this, you can't see this, you can't see that, you can't see your road, where to walk, nothing you can see, right? So how much you struggle, you will realize that, And then after 2 hours of having blindfold in your eye, then you come home and then you open your eyes, and immediately you say, oh wow, it's so nice. Then really that time you really appreciate having eye. Other times you don't appreciate having eye.
I'm really lucky checking the approach checking about it.
Do you feel like that? Do you think that, oh, I have an eye, I'm so lucky?
No, right? Tengandu no to share. Chedang in line, but so you are the Ratamato, Melody Jangchub, and the 20 years on the structure.
So this is what I'm trying to emphasize, is that be content with what we have, be appreciate with what we have, and don't look for and always don't look for more things that we don't have.
세상에도 삼성 아니 초시 제거서마다 아니 지 가게 제 매버치네 빵고지 내고 들이 쇼요 말다 초시 제 강 요와들라 따테 때 하고와치 대체나 기나 셈블라 대와용 그래 어떤 내가 쏘더다.
And so when we say you should be content with what you have, that doesn't mean that you should give up all the things that you have or live like a beggar and so forth. No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is to recognize and appreciate what you have.
Okay, 대체나도 곰지 잡자. 곰 선로 따니. 간에 티게 셈라 대와체 그래. 수수 강요와데 텔라. Oh, I'm really lucky. I have this 수수 thing. 문제 제나 안셈 땐데 대와체 그래.
So now meditate on that, for on that things that you have. So it's, I have this. I'm so lucky. I have this. I'm so lucky, like that. Yeah, so if you think like that, immediately you'll feel very happy.
맨날 라면이 당기 전화도 빼자. 미치기 녀바잖아. 고무 자잖아. 지금은 사 고무 자테샤스 가오치. 지금 나 고무 자면 못해서 고 셈은 고요 말이야. 단다고 함스면 여자 셈나 강해요 돼. 그니 드라마송아. 나서 지금다네.
And also, like I gave the example earlier, somebody giving you a present, right? And of $100. So how you think, it will be different. One can say, "Wow, $100." I said, "Only $100?" So that's a big difference, right? So so you can be happy, by appreciating it, or you can be unhappy by just, ignoring it or, not appreciating it.
어디 수수 썸다다 제장 강화 요와들라야 아니 초시 맞아버지 매바지랑 함슴체나 되게 간주 가디나 삼나 강에 되그래.
So if you are not happy or you're not content with what you have, and seeking more, of what you don't have, and that will always bring problems to you.
Okay, 다 들로 가원 어떤 들만 nen가도 초시 제단다 즉 당한 나진 게 아니 땀 돈이야 들로 빼 nen가도 들로가도 강에 되는와.
And so this is very important, right? To be content with what we have. And not seeking too much of the things that we don't have, like seeking for position, name and fame, and so forth, because these are all source of our problems.
대면 내가 이거다. 소소 강화 요와들라 아니 될야 아니 라탄티지 아니 매바들라 함스 마치에서 대nen가 지리. 니는 뭐 셴베가 미그단 셈나가 소와 수께 마데스 대지나 소소 가디나 기본 거 말아. 가지 도도체나 민돌라 드만차마 될라기다.
The two things to understand, okay? So be content with what you have, and don't be greedy, for what you don't have. Right? And the other thing is, don't live your life in dependence on others' eyes and mind. Like don't live in that way so that people will think good about you, or what will people think about you, or how will people look at you, and so forth. Don't live in that way. So in other words, don't live your life in a lie, false livelihood.
Sorry to say that, but it's real. We say, "Ando de yongo mi pacho ngala tata dua tagre samne ko mande jinde ko chi 기저 운동도 지 아니 미 야도도 지 아니 지 개모 쉐 연동도 지怎么学给我
So this is true, right? So thinking of what people think or what people say, and we act in a certain way, even though we don't want to. Like we pretend to, be very happy, pretend to be very, down to earth or respectful and so forth, even though we don't, just because, what will people think and how will people see?
Okay. 어때 소준 간조지라 든지게 섬로 땅땅서 근데 든지게 냠내때 간조 로다 눈추 자추 곱치도 봐. 다 대상 빠지 뭐 제대로 빠지 로다 자추 곱치도 와라. 대바되나 간조 메세들 흘려지는 째라 그래.
And so if we think in that way, if we think in that, if we are content, with what we have, like be appreciative, with what we have, and not have a greedy for what we don't, with what we don't have, then our life, however long we live, will be very peaceful. Like say 70, 80, and nowadays maybe 90 years old up to, right? 80, 90 years old. So however long life we live, we'll have a very peaceful and happy life.
그냥 간조 배획을 로설라다 막다 경고쇼라 빠지 로든추 자추 곱추도 와다 드릴래 되고 갈아야 그거들 다 미세들은 요박하게 미세들 찝타지 총송세들이 라고 그랬는데 소소 셈라야 간지 너무 매같이 근데 출시들이 요래 취재로도 되는 요래.
So in like Tibetan culture or tradition, I don't know, people always tend to say that when they're older, like in their 70s, 80s, 90s, then they will say, "Oh, I have no regret, for my life now, and I have lived my life so happily. I have no regret for my life." Like that. Do the Westerners say like that when they're older?
제가 왜다 개고찬 오카냐가 문도 다지 용금 문도 소나란 거 되면 다 삼랑 암단 지장 장장을 해와 제가 something 마신데 용거.
And so the Westerners, they think like, oh, the people but my children, and they're not on their own feet, or they're not independent. And I had this problem, I had that problem. So they think always these problems, right? But of course, of course we all have that problem. The Tibetans and the Westerners, they both have the problem. The way we think, right? Where we think, So if you're satisfied with what you have, you appreciate what you have, then you can be happy. Say, oh yeah, I live my life very happily.
어때 삼들 다땡가도 대링가도 계셔대 베이스로 쉐거다 대충 주주의 샤마샤 대응 섬당쇼 인지미지.
Yeah, so that's a very basic thing that we talked about today, but you have to think about it, Don't think this is so small and just ignore it. Don't do that, Just think about it. These are the basic things that we have to understand that.
아니 대니 니바데 다 순바된 가서 다 낮에 냠지가 섬당다들이 대변낸 거 전부 차대기 그래. 낮에 냠지에서 다 시당 고당라 뭐나 못 보여래. 이난 강들 아니 제 대달로 소소 대달로 제마치 샤다 아슬라고 그랬다.
And then the third thing is third way of living is by living by equalizing and exchanging self with others. So that's like by living by thinking of oneself being in their place and then placing them in one's place.
다데 고대오제 칼라는 간주 미 셴발라 콘로라 타레다 노다 셰 차버리 mambu 체사다 간주 대 두가지 치는 간주 통고에 말대 소리 뺀나 테마 잘랍사리 다 테마 잘레면 뺀나 테마 줄랍사리 가지 식 두가 이게 체사레 아니 남주 두가 땡타레 아니 계셔 두가들 mambu 셰 차버리 이 간주 대 두가 삼고에 말이 미 셴바 요소들 식질랍나 델 콘로 사네 아니 미 파조도 소소 다소차 그래 오데 노트레스.
So what it's saying is that in a basic normal situation of equalizing and exchanging self with others. So like we have done so many bad things, right? We have said bad things, we have done bad things to others, maybe tens or hundreds of times, right? And we don't even recognize that. This is, oh, I have done that. We don't recognize that, and we don't even feel guilty about that. And we don't feel bad about that. But if someone else were to say even one word of bad thing, even one time, if they say a bad word, then we get angry. We feel unhappy immediately. Is it like that?
제상아 다들 제오자고요. 알레. 소소피기 파친도도 간이다. 소소피기 파 가설 없어요. 대도 두어진 삼당게 말. 소소배나 배나 소소 좋아지면은 남주 따스나 간지 파도 두어져야 되겠나? 소소반 두어져야 너고 좋아하고 말. 파촌에 때에서 남주 두어졌나? 아니 소소 공로사기로. 어때 농토레스.
And so it's really true, right? Like say, the husband and wife, they fight with each other and they say bad things about each other. They complain to each other, right? So when you say to your wife or husband something, then you don't recognize, you don't understand that as a bad. But when the similar kind of thing that your wife or husband says to you, then immediately you get angry. He says, "Oh, how can she say it like that? Or how can she complain like that? Or how can he complain like that?" Yeah. So we immediately understand that. But when we say to others, we don't understand that. So in our ordinary way, day-to-day life, that's what we have to exchange. So instead of understanding what he or she is telling you, now you understand what you're telling to him or her.
Hey, Kunjo.
Say hi, Geshe.
Hello.
Hi, Geshe.
Say everyone. Na diri nganzo dodo kare kondu na. Soso kan yoga tela ya. Okay. Na diri nganzo dodo kare kondu na. Soso kan yoga tela ritansi. Tela gawa gom. Oda dine ga chikota.
So anyway, in summary, what we have to understand today, what we talked about today is that we should be, happy with what we have and not be too greedy, for what we don't have.
What do you do today? Like 29. I'm very lucky. They go they have something. I'm very lucky to live like that. The homeless people, the like taxi people right now, the animals right now, they don't have like that. With the animals, they live always like that. We just maybe say we excuse like that. It's not like that. Then we say human beings like Texas, the homeless people, they want same as us. They are not able to live same as animals. We compare that as, oh, I'm very lucky. My room's home. Just recognize that, rejoice that. This is one important. Whatever you have. Then, we have the food, we have the house, we have the friends, we have the internet, looking for something to positive to recognize, it makes very different for our daily life, okay? Don't looking something, it's not belongs to us or the social mawa, social top down mewash.
So not be greedy, for the things we don't have or we don't deserve. Is it true or not? So isn't it lucky that we have a house to live in, and we have the heat to give us the heat, the comfort, and not be too cold. And also we have the option to choose what we want to eat, from our refrigerator. Isn't that lucky? So if you feel lucky, if you appreciate that. And also don't live your life, in others' mind and eyes. If you live that way, then you'll be always in, very, stressed all the time.
Red carpet can movie time with the Yoruba, Namji Taiwa. So you get Lebanon, you not one conto Mercedes Tigablaya, Mishembe, Migdam, Michi, seminal conto Method, some of the Tangoda, Yabon watch it, the Cheddar Television code tap the window, I just saw the shoot Chegodo.
like the celebrities, who are walking on a red carpet, they're living their life, on other people's eyes and mind, right? That we're always thinking, how will other people look at me, and what will people think about me all the time like that. So they have to be very careful all the time how they act and how they look. And so in our case, it's not like that. We can choose to live independently on our own without depending on how people will look and how people will think.
Somebody
and then the third thing is to understand, to exchange our place with others, and understand, like not understanding how many times you have shot the arrow at them, and then just recognizing only one arrow that was shot by them to you. Is that what I mean?
You got it right. This three things is very important. Just try to just practice daily life, okay? Just think that. Recognize is very important. Whatever we have, therefore Buddha said. And also another one, we say impermanence. Impermanence also you have so many different ways to understand.
And then other thing is to think about the impermanence. And so when we think about impermanence, something that perishes, that disintegrates, or something that comes to end and like that, right?
Koya Matabanda Komeva Chandores. Tandanga to Lobjon Shera Yomarda, Lobjon, Tea Matabanda, Kotanda Kono Drivers. Tandanga Yamnisha Chetu Menduda, Tea Matabanda, Yamne Kono Payers. You Kono Pecho, Jimmy come Meva some Tangway. Couldn't give away what do some Tang.
So, impermanence doesn't mean only, to come to end, it also means to transform, to change. So like you can say, right now I'm facing all these problems, but it will not remain like that all the time. It can be changed. It can be changed, changed to happiness. So like that, so right now I'm not able to meditate well, but it can change, and I can improve, So it's not, if it's permanent, then it's going to stay in that level all the time. Being able to meditate, but because it's impermanent, so it will change, and I can improve. Right now, I cannot have the altruism, but it will not be like that all the time. I can improve that, because it's impermanence. I can improve that. And also same thing with the pandemic, that we're all facing now. And that's the changes happening, right? So there's the less and less people getting sick now, and then there are more and more medicines coming out to heal that. And so therefore there's like all these changes in a good way also happening. And so like, a bad situation that you are in, or, like disease or sickness that you are in, don't think that as being permanent, but think of that as being impermanent also, because it can change, it will change. It's impermanent. It will change, I will not be sick all the time, and I will get better, and so forth. So if you think like that, then your mind will be much happier.
Okay, what are you looking at today? Who will give back to the exam? And I'm sure you guys write so many papers, but you're not combined. You say, okay, which one more important? Huh? I'm sure you guys read 2-3 pages, The main thing is what we need, like something to combine that, understand? Okay, who would like to say? Shy. Tambo de ba suzu kan yo wa tela ya ani ritan shi wa che go res. Okay, let's Laura.
Geshe, I think you said there are 4 main points. One is that we should be content with what we have and appreciate what we have. Being content or not being content are what determines our level of happiness. Number 2 is we should analyze if we are living in a way that is making us happy, or if we are living in order to please other people, or worried about what they think of us and how they see us. And then we should, number 3 is exchanging oneself with others. We should remember more all the things we've done to hurt others as opposed to how others have hurt us. And then impermanence, because of impermanence, we can change and improve.
Mm-hmm. Okay, looks good. Do other people have to like add or maybe take out some or different way explain? Maybe Jennifer, you have something?
Pretty much. I just it a little different on the impermanence that it not only that it changes, but that we can transform a situation. We can and also with exchanging self and others, you know, thinking about the many times that we've done the very thing that we got mad at somebody for doing one time to us or something.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Like that. These things don't think, oh, this is a very simple way. This is not simple way. This is the main thing we have challenge every day, okay? Then how to stop that is the best way, content what you have. It's not means that if you have content, you cannot do anything. You have to just inhabit that. It's not like that. Content means you recognize what you have, appreciate what you have, right? Very good, right? I told you, this example, even he had another example, maybe if some place have the very problem with the water, maybe only water is in a half, the 2 person come, maybe one family. The one say, it's only half. They're not very happy. Another, it's very lucky. It's a little bit water left here. You see? One thing, 2 people have to make happy and sad. The other person is not enough. It's very strong. How say, Karo?
Greedy.
Greedy. There's not enough. It's a little bit too little, Others say, it's very lucky. It's a little bit left here. Like that, okay? These big, small things change for our daily things, daily lives. Okay? Any questions? Any emergency questions? Good to my network come back. Your question, you raise your hand. Looks good. You guys very good.
Yeah.
Oh, John. Hey, John.
Hi. I think what you've been teaching, and I've been practicing, I try to daily, on calm abiding, sort of very much connects to this. Because if we start looking at what other people have or what we don't have, or I just sold a home and I just told you I might buy another house. And you're like, no. You're right. I'm not going to buy another house. It's a lot of work. But our minds are always thinking, what can I do more? What can I do different? And I'm in retirement, and this is challenging for me, because I don't have that career to identify me or
No. You're the retirement. You're the most happiest person right now you have to do. Right now, I'm serious.
I
know
that.
How many people looking for a job this country?
I know.
How many million? Who knows the number?
800 and something.
800 million.
How many million?
Oh, no, not that many. 800 something. Unemployment is like under 1 million.
Oh,
800,000.
Yeah. Do you see? They have something like that, looking for a job. I'm retirement. I am free from the to work. This is, I teach this morning how to content you, what you have right now. So
Right.
I'm very lucky. I don't have to go look a job. I don't have to worry. Do you see?
Right. But
Got
I'm
it?
just trying to say that the calm abiding has helped me because,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And it sort of connects to what you're saying, is to be content with what we have.
Yeah. Content is very important. Yeah, calm abiding makes your mind calm, with you, relax.
Exchanging
Okay.
yourself with others. I mean, I try to think, what can I do in that field? You know, now being retired, what can before I was a clinician, so I'm helping people, but now I'm home. And so what do? How do I give food to people? So I have, I'm trying to think of it in that way. What can I do with my identity now? It's an identity shift.
Yeah, this is good. This is good also. You have a lot of educations, how to things. There are so many also non-profit organizations looking for volunteers. Like example, there are a lot of places to do volunteer. Like example, I do volunteer for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. There are 500 people volunteers. 500.
I could do that.
You see? You can do so many.
Years.
Yeah, Kurukulla Center also looking for always volunteers.
I thought of that. I thought I could help Geshe with the bookstore or something.
Yeah, right now the people working here, they're all voluntary. They don't get any. You know,
me, John.
I'll be in touch with where is she?
Yeah, you can do this. You don't have to say, oh, what can I do? You are already this community to, okay, what can I do? So many things you can do. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's good. Any other questions? Laura, you have a question?
It's not really a question, I guess. It was more of a concern about the point about not being too concerned about what others think of us. In some ways, I think that has a good side, because then it prevents us from doing things that we shouldn't do.
Excuse me. Shikaden Tawan Dibi Midian, not Jodum Sonum Sabishis, Mi Pacho and Tawayana, Mi Pacho is Semlaya, and she Delotia, and Digi Suzuku, and the Lugan Namjot and the Mayapa. Tomata, Yabondu, something go, they go at it. They Mi Pacho Jelaya, and the gave a Pacha Shakir, Susu Gupena, meet the Malan to some young, but they go at it, Tanaki Jodalimba. Mi Pacho nga Chetan the Yawamudu, some in Tonga, some nothing, Nandri Chadori. 네 제당같이 미 파쇼라야 아니 지 따당 두고 용거 삼나 되게 되는 되게.
Yeah, so I like I said before earlier also, that if you're doing this, if you're acting in a good way, so that people will think good about you, and they will appreciate, and they will have a devotion or faith in you, and then that's good. So that's you're leading positive in a way, in others. So therefore that's good. It's just like, what do I think, like out of, your own self-interest, selfish mind, if you think, I will be looked bad way, I'll be looked in bad way, and like that, then that's not good. So like in the monastery, the teachers also advise the monks, saying that, you have to, behave in a good way. So because, the monks, like people look in a very high way, in a high position, and to the monks, so all monks are very good, very polite, very humble, like that. So if they see that, then that develops devotion in the sangha. So that's good for them. If one monk acts in a bad way, and then that causes the person to lose faith in the sangha, then that's not good, right? So in that case, yes, you have to look in a good way, for others, to bring benefit in others. But if you are thinking, and out of self-cherishing or self-interest mind, this is, I will look bad, I will lose my fame or my dignity and so forth, then that's not good. So yeah, there is some subtle differences like that, so you have to understand.
ganzu ge su namji labja jagari chimba sunjige lesa ma chuse jare ta chimba zuda changzu chimba ba chimbe da chawasa de pe yabore samde cha ganzu ngone chi ana shoba duwa de chena a ta chawadu de chegdu same chimbege gelaya 대화 de pala anu da 그리고 대화 말하게 제대 수수근에 sabzab chego 그래 해서 돼요 대당 당은 종이 랍당 가가다 돼.
So yeah, there is a bad karma that monks can create by causing the lay people to lose their faith in the monks. So they can create the negative karma. So only the monks can do that. Other people. So because in the lay people regards the monks as being very humble, noble, and so forth. But if they act in a bad way, then they will lose that faith in the monks, and therefore the monks, should behave in a very humble and a very disciplined way, like that. So for that you need it. You need that. You need to, live in their eye, but that's for the different reason.
자외 다시 마고 고와도 자와에 작은 말에 다 대상 거다 남을려 가와나 자와 임배선으로 멤버선으로 자와면나 다시 권연로 등에 마모이래 담보 소속에 세체 대회에서 야보 따고 그래서 대하는 거래.
And then also, of course, doesn't mean that everybody who wears a red robe, like the Tibetan monks, are monk. There are people, so many people they pretend to be monk, by seeing the benefit of being monk. The people will respect, people will offer, and so forth. Then they also wear robes, and then of course they don't have that discipline, and then they act in a bad way, and then ruin the reputation of the monks. So of course, in this case, the lay people will have to analyze, are they really monk or not? Or should I expect that from them or not, like that? So just like Buddha said, you have to investigate the teachings. So you should also investigate in this situation.
다 되네 내가 가지고 다 장소 배는 가도 타미가 남백이 미르케도다. 배는 가야나 남바 디나나 남백 자와 미케도 와자 겐체모쇼다 삼섭체고래. 장소야나 남바 장장에서 당에 간주모 주께샤야 마이나 누가 안 남주에는 누가 된바나 당에 남백이 미르케도 미게 남바에게 미tun들이 지금 삼고 삼바이나 삼섭체나 소중은이 녀모 마차야래 팽그래. 아니 신뱅올라 델로 마쳐 팽도와.
And also, of course, in different levels, right? You also have that some responsibility, as being a Buddhist, you have responsibility to, to keep up, the name of the Buddhism. Like you're a Buddhist, and as a monk, monk have even more responsibility. But even as a Buddhist, so if you say you're a Buddhist and then you do all these bad things, then the whole Buddhist community will get the bad name. So therefore, it's your responsibility to hold that reputation, of Buddhism and of a Buddhist, and so for that reason, if you act in a good way, so then it's not that's not bad, because you're doing that, so that people will not have bad thought about Buddhism.
사람들의 연구에 간도 아니 마이브레시 가 남바인가 마이브시면 되게 다때 농주 빼니가 쳔모래.
So some people, they say, I'm a Buddhist, I don't lie, but then they keep on lying all the time. That's not good.
제자한테 제도 간도 대상배나다 로당가 전에 미치게 농주시나 대기 커뮤니티 차도 나보소거든. 대상 간도 300 살도체고도.
And so as being a Buddhist, it's our responsibility to hold the name, hold the name of the Buddhism up. Because if we do bad way, then the whole Buddhist community gets the bad name.
도치는다 미가 따당 야보 연구 말에 밀에 예바사 그래서 sabzab전에 된 드리었다. 된 드리었다. 제초고 된 미셴베가 셈다 미나 소소 메디치는 드리들.
So it says like, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't do that, or I should do that, because if I do that, then if I do the things that I shouldn't do, then that will lose the faith in other people, in other people's mind, faith towards the Buddhism or Buddhist community. So therefore, I should not do that. Then that's okay. That's good.
That time, so ange didn't my child or something. Chena and it's the
But other than that, it's like just for oneself. I will look bad, and therefore I should not do that. And then if you are bad already, then you pretend to be good, and you can't keep that up for a long time, right? You will show your bad side one day. So I have been saying a good example again with the husband and wife. So when they first, meet with each other, they're all pretending, right? Pretend to be good, pretend to be speaking very small, very smoothly, and pretending to look in a very good way, smiling all the time, all these things. That's a pretension, right? It's a false, right? Because you can't keep up with that for a long time. And then after that, after being together, and then the truth will come out, and then that's when you come to divorce.
And that
is a pretension, of course, we don't recognize that as a pretension. We are made to do in that way by attachment. We are attached to other person, and we says, oh, I have to be nice to that person. I have to, look nice to that person, and so forth. So we are, forced to be, pretension, forced to pretend in that way by our delusions.
Okay, now I'm talking too much. Like that, okay? Do you understand that there or Laura, there are two different ways? Maybe I've talked too much.
Yes, thank you. That clarified things. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Especially now this time, I like to say like the internet or social media is very fast. That you can see so many things, you hear so many things. It's very important to investigation. If something not your business, then just don't touch. Better that. Otherwise, it creates a lot of negative karma. I mean, you can say monks doing something, nuns doing something, or some Buddhism people doing this. This is not our business. We are karo. Manzo take can take my own nipa yomara. Manzola take tapshi mans. Tela lapa maja shasha yashures.
So because we have no potential, to stop that or to make that not happen, therefore it's best we don't touch it at all.
So 대선 점리 강 요바데 녜만 요다 녜마고 지치게 다 자자데 메와다 고 서로 동교마 다 대선 가래나 니마치 미치게 빠르치 다나고 점리 니마치 잠로고 대가도 강한 동교요래 제가 고 텔라 하사사치네 수수대 주도래요 말고 샤샤나 야쇼래.
So like before, these kind of bad things did exist before, but it's just that there was no access to that. Now, because of this social media, if something is put on the on the net, then everybody can see it very easily. So people have come to understand that now. So there's nothing we can do about it. So that's better not touch it at all.
Okay. Therefore, like example, food, we don't want to eat all the foods, all different ones. Just what we lack, what's good for us. We just eat that. We don't want to, oh, that's good. Don't eat. That is maybe good them, but this is not good for us. Eat. Like me, I always tukpa. I like tukpa. Like you guys in the iced coffee. You guys who likes iced coffee? Do you see Kerry? Is you can iced coffee, study you iced coffee? The 20 degrees outside, the iced coffee. But it's good for her, you see? I said, oh, Kerry, don't get the hot water. It's cold weather. It doesn't work because it's hot water for me is good, but her body, how you say, grow like cold. Therefore, that's good. I told the last couple of weeks ago, one Chinese lady, her husband's a Western guy. He likes to do cold food, iced coffee, ice drinking. I told her, she's the Chinese, Chinese, usually Asia, Chinese, they're always hot tea, hot water, always. I told her, go to your husband to drink more hot water. Then he called, Kejila, I'm sorry, I couldn't drink hot water. I never drink a hot tea, hot water in my life. Look, this doesn't work, right? It's a walk one person that doesn't walk one other place. Therefore, it's good to what fits your body, what fits your mind, go that way. If other person is good, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it's good for everyone. Okay? Okay, thank you. Now we stop.
Sanji perki juxing me tok tram re rab ling jing ni de gen pa di sange jing du ming te uagi doko nam dag jing la chur par shug je tsun la me kutse rab ten jing nam ka trin le chok chur ge pa dang lo sang ten pe dren me sa sung gi dro e mun so tak tu ne gyur chik ye dam guru rab naman dalakam neri atayami. Short long life prayer for His Holiness. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings who extensively clarifies the path to unifies emptiness and compassion. To the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Mahajana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may where unborn arise and where born never decline but increase forevermore. Meet me say wait chen rizik dream making pei wang po jang pel yang gang chen ke pei tsu gen Tsongkhapa lu sang dra pei jabla solwa de. Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Damjala.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Couple of quick announcements. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock is Guru Puja. And then also a reminder about this weekend, starting on Friday evening at 7, there is the Green Tara Sadhana weekend. And then on Saturday is the Day of Miracles, and Geshe-la is going to confer the 8 Mahayana precepts beginning at 6 a.m. All this information is on the calendar, so please check that. Please be on time for the precepts. So you're going to start right on time. And then also, so then there'll be sessions throughout the day for the Green Tara Sadhana weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And again, check the calendar for details. Thank you.
One quick announcement from development, the Buddha Lamb fundraiser. Just to give an update, please, if you want to place your order, please use the Google form and send it by this Friday deadline. And you can choose to pick up. We can arrange pick up from me, or choose ship to you. Ship to you, it will be by priority mail. One butter lamb will fit in a medium-sized priority box, so that's $15.50 for mailing. It's shipping. Maybe it's a lot. We can arrange. We can pick up if you are living in Massachusetts. And expected arrival is end of this month, so you can reach out. Look out for it in this week. There should be this week. Tomorrow you should be able to find that form. If not, please reach out to me directly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Go to the little ski, but make sure not broken your legs. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jangchub.
Hi, Geshe-la. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you,
Now everyone's moved. Now you're not statue anymore.